Welcome, Bearcat fans, to UC Bearcats on the Prowl with James Ernest and Mark Fightmaster. Mark, who's our guest this week?
Yeah, James, our guest is former UC football player Anthony Williams Jr. Welcome to the show, and want to give you an opportunity just to catch everybody up on what you've been doing.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. What I've been doing, I've been working at the Kia manufacturer. We produce Kia cars. I'm working in the plant right now. Right now, I'm a team leader for them. I've been with them for 7 years now. Doing a little coaching for our recreation department for 9 and 10 youth football.
Oh, nice. Hey, Mark, you coach youth football as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'm actually coaching 5th and 6th grade football this year, so close to the same age.
Right, cool. How you like it?
Oh, I love it. You know, I a long time ago, I played Division III college football, and maybe even before you were born. And then after I finished playing football, I played a couple years, had to quit because of concussions. I got right into coaching at my old high school. So I've been coaching, I coached high school football for 11 years, 12 years, and then I've been coaching grade school football for 12 years. So, I'm going on almost 25 years of coaching football. And what happened is I moved to grade school because I got 3 sons, and they all play football, and so I help with their teams.
Oh, great!
And it's awesome. I love it. Hopefully you do too.
Yeah, I do. They bring a lot of enjoyment to me, man. You know, being away from the game, it helped me get back into something with it, you know.
Yep. Yeah, what's cool is you get to pass along the knowledge that you were given. You know, right. And now some of what I learned when I was coming up is outdated now. You know, with all the new safety and everything. But it's really neat. I've been able to learn the new techniques and the new kind of tackling that they like and all that stuff. So it keeps me in touch with the game.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, is there a particular position you coach, or do you coach a particular side of the ball?
Yes, defensive coordinator and linebackers. Yeah. You know, I had to pick up from something that I used to play. So, I'm coaching linebacker. Right now, we played 40 games. We 3-1 right now.
Nice. So, what's the toughest part about coaching?
Getting them to pay attention, you know.
Sorry.
It's fun, though. It's fun that once, get them to pay attention.
So what's the best part about it?
This best part, just seeing the excitement on their face, how, excited they be, especially when they score and make a tackle. You know, they start at that age, they really don't know much about it, you know. So I just like to see them get happy, you know.
Exactly. So, your time at UC, what was your favorite memories?
Oh, my favorite memories. Oh, the time we beat Rutgers, the number 16. They was the number 16 in the nation that year. They had a great team, and we put an end to it at Nipper Stadium.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, so of course, a lot of great moments down there at Nippert. Do you go to the games?
Yes. I didn't make any last year, but the previous years I attended the homecoming game.
Oh, nice. So that kind of probably answers this question. Have you made it down yet this year?
No, I'm not. I haven't, but I will make it to homecoming. Excellent. You know, most of us football players, that's when all of us try to get together around homecoming. You know, I know it. There's a whole bunch of great games throughout the year, but this one time all of us try to get up together.
Sounds good. Mark, got any questions?
Really, I mean, I could spend forever talking about coaching, man.
Right.
And I love it. But what do you think is the most important thing that you teach these kids, especially your age, at 9 and 10? What's the most important thing about football that you teach them?
The most important thing I teach them, I try to teach them is, like, just paying attention. I know it's hard, but the most that I try to focus on, y'all have to pay attention. I try to make sure I stay on top of their grades. Not stay on top of it, but ask their mom how they grades. Show them the important side of both football and school. So that's what I try to teach the kids the most. Gotta have balance.
A good life lesson. So with UC, huge win this past Friday night. What do you think? What do you think of the job that Coach Fickle's done? What do you think about the energy that surrounds the program right now?
Man, I think he has done an excellent job. He got the program going in the right direction. I'm pretty sure with that win right now, they feeling pretty good right now behind it. That's a great win. You got to pat yourself on the back for that win. Coach Fickle, like I said, he's doing a great job. He taking them where we need to be.
Definitely. It's a great win. I mean, getting them into the top 25, that huge win did. But the thing that really impressed me about it was the fact that Fickle's willingness to trust his coordinators, his willingness to allow them to basically come up with a new scheme for USF, because they didn't do a lot of four-down linemen, where in the other games they had played predominantly four-down linemen. It's kind of an interesting mix. And then along with that, they ended up putting a couple freshman corners out there at times. And, of course, that paid off with that interception for a touchdown with that young man who likes to be called Sauce for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he wants to be called that, but that's what he wants to be called. And if you get interceptions for touchdowns, you can be called whatever you want, I guess.
Right, yeah, they're right. Yeah, he proves it. But the freshman, I think it gives them some energy. Playing freshman sometimes can, give you some much needed energy you need.
Yeah, I agree. The young kids get in there and they're hungry to kind of put their stamp on things. And, you get a true freshman in there or a redshirt freshman, whatever, you're going to get a killer effort from them. Because, obviously you're getting a great effort from the seniors and the juniors and the older guys. But you want the freshman's going to want to come in, puts that burden on himself to live up to that, and so he's going to bust his ass, basically.
Right, he has something to prove.
Yeah.
You're right.
Exactly, and the nice thing is, it felt like they really did prove that this last week. Not just the freshmen, but UC has got a large group of sophomores and some juniors and a couple seniors, but it's predominantly sophomore driven. So just winning games like this now, do you feel that that's going to help them in the future to win other big contests?
Yes. That's where it starts. You got, that's where it starts. This win that they just had. So you get used to winning like that. I think it carry on. You got to get used to winning big games like that. They won a big one in the bowl game. That's a great test that they had in Virginia Tech. So we just building. We keep building. Keep getting these wins and it's going to come a great program. Well, it's already a great program that I want to get us in a Power 5 conference, you feel?
I know what you mean. But the nice thing is, though, this conference is really starting to shape up. It has got some good teams. UCF, has been so dominant the last couple of years, getting ranked so highly. They got some
you got Memphis, SMU. You got some great teams, yeah. And some great athletes in the conference too. Great athletes.
This team they're playing this week, I know they're 2-3, so people are going to overlook them. But and obviously they lost a lot from last year because Ed Oliver, who was one of the best defensive tackles in college football last season, is no longer with them now with the Bills. And then they lost a linebacker and a corner also got drafted to the NFL. So Houston definitely did get wore down on defense, but they are still a handful, especially at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. Any game, playing on somebody else's territory is a tough game. I'm pretty sure Coach Fickle got them guys focused, coming in with the same mentality they had the last game. He's looking at it like it's a new week, so I'm pretty sure he's bringing some energy to the practice, and they can carry on to the field.
So, I mean, is that how that your coaches in the past would do it? Basically say, hey, the week started over again, forget about what happened, after forget about the big win, let's focus on this new team? Or would they kind of incorporate that in there? How would they do it?
I came up with 3 coaches first, but when I played, I was up on Mark D'Antonio. Pat yourself on the back and, move on to film right after that, But some with Brian Kelly, it was, you probably get a day to pat yourself on the back, but Mark D'Antonio, he give you probably 5 hours.
Nice.
And you back to work.
So either way, definitely focusing on the next game. So what are your thoughts about that? Who do you think's going to win? How do you feel UC's going to be able to continue their winning ways?
First of all, the way I feel, start with the D. They got a great running game, so they can continue to play great D and keep the running game up. Great things can happen.
Yeah,
that's the formula.
Yeah, I agree with you. Obviously, the defense is the key point. I mean, it wasn't the fact that they scored a couple touchdowns in the game and field goals and that kind of thing. It was more so the fact that they stopped them so many times in the red zone and held them to field goals that caused UC to be able to win the game. I mean, the defense kept them in it and gave Ritter an opportunity. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ritter and Dokes and Warren have done a great job, and the tight end, who I feel bad I can never remember his name, even though he made the biggest play of the season, the senior. But yeah, they got a lot of things going good for them, and I agree. I think this will be a continuation of it, and I think it's going to be a nice victory for them.
Yeah. I think I got a prediction I had at the beginning of the year they were going to go 12-1. So that's my prediction.
Nice. Mark, I bet I can speak for you in this one that you are hoping that he's correct.
Yeah, definitely. It's Josiah DeGara. I always forget how to pronounce his last name. That's the tight end you're thinking about.
Yes.
Sorry, man. This week, my biggest concern about this game is just a letdown, but I don't see Fickle letting that happen. They're going to Houston. There's always a possibility, I guess, because we are still dealing with young men, kids almost, but I just don't see that happening. The defense is, and looking at this season before it started, I thought it was going to be a team that had to outscore people. But to see the defense come together the way they did on Friday night, and James, this is where you might be able to help me. I cannot remember the defensive coordinator's name. But he did a great job game planning. And now it's like once you see him do that against a team like UCF, you expect him to be able to do that against the rest of the teams that they face. So, I kind of expect this to be a game where UC goes out and dominates on defense. I think they put up like a 14 to 17 point win. I don't like giving a score just because, but I think I might have gotten the score right last week. I can't remember what to listen to the tape, but I think I said 27-24 UC.
That sounds about right.
So, it was a lucky guess, man. It was just, wow.
It was right, though.
I thought they'd win by 3, and I'm like, okay, what are the first two good football scores that are 3 points away? So I could have said like 17-14, but I got lucky. So
that was a great guess.
Yes, I think it'll be a good game for the Cats this week. I think they're going to win, hopefully pretty easy. And I love that 12-1 prediction for the season, especially with that one loss being to Ohio State.
Right. So,
yeah, that was a rough game.
Right, it was a tough game. Yeah. But we building ourselves for competition like that. So you measure yourself over a great team like that.
Exactly. I mean, what shame is there in saying, okay, yeah, we lost to to this team. And there's a lot of people saying that Ohio State's the best team in the country.
Right.
A lot of national writers and people are saying, hey, this team is as complete a team as there is. I mean, quite honestly, the UC losing 42-0 to them, to me, is no different than Michigan State losing 34-10.
Exactly. I say the same thing.
I mean, it was early in the season.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just bugs me, though. It bugs me, though, the touchdown that they should have had at the end of the game, the field goal that got blocked, just the little things that it would have been nice to have seen them make those, to have a little bit more to, hang your hat on. But I know what you mean.
Right.
I mean, no matter what, a loss is a loss and a win's, a win. But, yeah, it just... and then, of course, the following week, 2 weeks later, when Miami played up there at UC, and Miami had that 30 seconds of glory, or a minute and a half of glory that they had going on there when they were up 5-0. So it was, it'd been nice for UC to have just, that moment. But I guess you're right. I mean, they kind of really did get their moment this week against UCF.
Yes, that was a big moment. That was national. That was big. I got people down here in Georgia talking about it. So that was a big win.
Well, national TV, Nippert at night, the blackout, all that energy, I mean, you know it's there because you played in it,
Right, I can feel it.
Yeah, I know it's there because I've been at the games, James, you know it's there. Now the country got to see it, I think, I don't want to sit here and say, oh yeah, we're back, to the way it was with Brian Kelly, but man, I think Fickle's got his pointed in the right direction.
Right.
And trending upward.
Yeah, really, he does. I feel if he have another great season this year, he only gonna get better recruits, more recruits, So as long as he keep doing what he's doing, he keep his recipe and keep these guys believing. And I think we got a good thing coming.
Yeah.
So, back to your point, Mark. It is Marcus Freeman is their defensive
Marcus
coach.
Freeman. Yeah, he came. I know he was either a graduate assistant or I know he played at Ohio State, and Fickle brought him down with him when he came from Ohio State and made him the D coordinator. I know he's younger. And man, he really, really put on a show. Now the thing that scares you is that he put on enough of a show, and is he going to put on enough of a show this year that's going to attract some head coaching spots?
Yeah, that actually was a lot of the media was discussing that after the game before Fickle got in there. That they were concerned about that they feel that, I mean, like you said, that type of performance, and it's not just that game. Apparently, he does amazing things week in and week out for the team that, we might not always get to see, but, he has done a remarkable job. They even joked, they're like, oh, what's going to happen is Fickle will come in here, and just so he can keep Freeman around, he's going to be like, oh, well, this week, because of the importance of the game, I took over the defensive coordinator duties, or something, make it, try to take a little shine off of him so he doesn't get out too many offers. But obviously they were joking when they said that.
Right, exactly.
He did an amazing job, and he is one of the bright future.
Well, and that's one of the things, James. I think we talked about this when they brought Fickle in, and we talked about the staff. How important it was going to be to build a good, young, hungry staff. Because I mean, all these guys are coming in with a chip on their shoulders, and they want to prove something. And Freeman, his defense gave up a lot of points to Ohio State. Gave up some points here and there to other teams. He wanted to prove something, and what better way to do it than on a national spotlight against a team that was scoring 40 and 50 points on regularly a year before? And UCF has always been the darling of the, not mid-major, but of the Power 6 conference. That 6th conference, they were the ones that, they wanted to have a national championship banner because they went 13-0 just 2 years ago. And for UC to lay it to them the way they did, it was a really good thing.
Exactly.
It was.
So,
but the coaches back, I'm sorry, but speaking on the coaches, Gino Gaduli and Mike Mickens. Yeah, two of my former teammates. So yeah, they do have some great brains on the staff. Put it that way.
Right. I mean, Gaduli, isn't he the offensive coordinator?
No.
Oh, he is? No, I think he's running back or quarterback coach this year.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I knew there was some talk about maybe. So, I mean, yeah, my God. I mean, and bringing back UC players who know, yeah, it's awesome.
It mean a lot. I mean, from us players, seeing them on, it mean a lot. It mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So they got a great staff. They had a huge win, and of course they're not going to let down this week. I agree with you. I'm saying they're going to win 34-17. Something like that. It's going to be dramatic. I don't.
34-17. I think they're going to put up 42 this week.
Nice.
I think they're going to put up 42. I really do think that. So I'm giving. I say 42-17.
Nice.
Yeah, I like both those.
Yeah. So sounds good. Anthony, before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web should people check you out at?
My Facebook is Anthony Williams Jr. That's the only social media I have right now. I'm behind. I know everybody, my friends, pick it because I don't have an Instagram, but Anthony Williams Jr., you can find me on Facebook.
Oh, I'm the same way. I don't do the Facebook, I do Facebook, but I don't do the other ones, the Instagrams and the Twitter. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My nephew, he's young. He's 16. He said, man, he tell me I'm old-fashioned, but I don't feel that way yet.
Any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, I enjoyed the show. Next, I want to be on it again. Like I said, I'll be up there homecoming, so maybe I can see you guys or drop by and talk to you guys for a couple minutes.
That would be great. We'd love to have you on again, and definitely we plan on seeing you at homecoming. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Hey.
Oh shit. Hey. Hit the wrong button.
No, that's all right, man. That's all right. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, he's good, man. He can talk about football. He knows it. I think it's awesome.
I agree. And oh shoot, I almost forgot before we go. Midnight Madness.
Yeah, Midnight Madness, man. What was really cool is Fickle was able to walk over after the game and get in on Midnight Madness. That's a couple clips of him.
Sneaking punk. He should be referred to because he kept telling us, he's like, no, I'm going home to my family. I'm going home to my family. There's no way. And they're like, you're going to get a good reception. He's like, I'm going to get a good reception at home with my family. And then, of course he did it, him and Ritter. But, yeah, no, that was cool that he went over. But it was just funny, though, how much he kept denying it, though. Like it was a surprise. I was like, well, duh, of course you should go over and say hi. You got, a bunch of your fans over there. The ones that didn't injure themselves running on the field. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to bring up. That, I'm sure he's probably had games where fans are running the field.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, yeah, and the idiots, they jumped from the, if they would have walked down the stairs, that was fine. But there were some of them that jumped over the wall that they put by the student section that's 10 foot tall.
Yeah, that's not the smartest thing.
Yeah, one guy, I think broke his ankle. He had to get helped out.
Of course.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a good win there. They deserved to storm the field, and I'm glad that Fickle was able to go to Midnight Madness.
Oh, yeah, that was cool, him being there. And then it was a good scrimmage for both the men's and women's teams.
Good.
3-point and the dunk could have been a little bit better. Definitely the dunk could be better, but it happens. So I was going to say, they don't do dunk contests during basketball games, so it don't really matter.
Exactly. You need Melvin Levitt back.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say the sad thing is, at his age, he'd still beat all of them.
Oh, he'd still win.
Yeah, because like they were doing overly complicated dunks, and I was like, just do a couple easy ones, then do a big one. But they were trying to be too elaborate. Yeah, but he could still, like, I watched one of his Facebook videos the other day, and he could still dunk amazing. So yeah, oh yeah, he's still in good shape. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised he didn't play on the TBT team instead of coaching it, because he's in good enough shape to do it. Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to touch that before we, signed off for the night. So, yeah, definitely a really nice event. The basketball Midnight Madness. So if fans didn't get to attend, they should definitely consider it next year, because it's going to be a new tradition, I think.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Excellent. So, any final thoughts before you sign off, Mark?
Nah, just, let's have another good game this week. Chalk up another W.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, see ya.